Okay, ladies and gentlemen of geometry, we're starting Unit 8. Unit 8 talks about the area and perimeter of a lot of different shapes, and they get more complicated as we go. So you need to kind of pay attention and double check and make sure that you know what you're doing. So now, area of parallelograms and triangles is where we're going to start. Area of a parallelogram. Pretty simple. You're going to take your base times your height. So you call it base, call that one the height. Height is going to be perpendicular, so it's pretty straightforward. Area equals base times height. This is not your height, so do not use it as a height. All right, height has got to be perpendicular. So look in here. All right, this is my height. That's 5. This is going to be 10. This is going to be 4. That means this is also going to be 10. This is also going to be 4. So perimeter 10, 10, 4, 4. That's going to be 28 inches. Area is going to be 10 times 5, which is going to be 50 inches squared. That's how I label it, inches squared for area. So perimeter and area here. So if this is going to be 21, this whole thing down here is going to be 21, 17, 17. Add all those up. 21, 21 is 42, 17, 17, 34. So together that's going to be 76 centimeters. Area is going to be 21. Here we don't know the height, but this is still a right triangle, so I'm going to use Pythagorean theorem. So I'm going to get probably a decimal. 17 squared is 289 minus 64, which is going to be 8 squared. So if I subtract, b squared equals 225. So b is going to equal 15. So that means my height is 15. So my area is going to be 21 times 15. So that's going to be 315 centimeters squared. So you see how I use Pythagorean theorem there? That doesn't go away. That shows up. In fact, it shows up quite a bit. So here, 7, 24. I need to figure out this. This is actually going to be my height right here. So 7 squared plus 24 squared is going to be 625. When I take the square root of that, I get this is actually 25. So perimeter 25 plus 25 plus 23 plus 23, and that's going to be 96 feet. Area is going to be 23 times 24, and that's going to be 552 square feet. All right, so find the area of the parallelograms using special right triangles. Special right triangles, remember that's your 45, 45, 90, and that's going to be your 30, 60, 90. So here we've got a 45, 45, 90 triangle right here. Okay, so 45, 45, 90. And you know that this is going to be 9. You know that these two got to be congruent to each other. That's it's an isosceles triangle. But remember, 45, 45, 90 goes x, x, x square root of 2. So x square root of 2 is equal to 9. So a little bit of solving here. 9 over square root of 2, but you can't leave it like that. So multiply the top and bottom by square root of 2, and you get 4.5 square root of 2. As a decimal, that is going to be 6.364. So if you want to use 6.364, I guess that's fine. So the area is going to be 12 times that. So my area of this thing is going to be 76.37 units squared. All right, but you got to remember, this is your special right triangle thing. So using special right triangles again, this is 12. This is a 30, 60, 90 triangle. So remember that goes x. The hypotenuse is always going to be double that. Then the middle side is always short side times square root of 3. So this is 12. Double that is 24, so this is going to be 24, but that doesn't really help us. This is going to be 12 times the square root of 3. So 12 times the square root of 3 is going to be 20.78. So that makes this 0.78. So my base is 32 times that, multiplied by this, and I get 665.11 meters squared. So area of a triangle. Area of a triangle is a little bit different. There's one more step between that and a parallelogram. A triangle ends up being half of a parallelogram when you look at area. So that's what I do. I end up taking 1/2 of the base times the height. Okay, another way to write it would be base times height divided by 2. Those are both going to be the same thing. Again, height is still perpendicular and base is still the base. So figure out what I got here, figure out the perimeter and the area. Again, so this is 41, this is 19. I don't know what this side is, so I've got to use Pythagorean theorem. So 27 squared plus 30 squared is going to be equal to c squared. So that's going to be 16 square root. That's going to be 40.36. So this is going to be 40.36. So when I add that to 41 and 19, my perimeter becomes 100.36 inches. Now my area is going to be just 19 times 30. 19 is my base, 30 is my height, divided by 2. So that's going to be 285 inches squared. All right, that's all I'm doing. So perimeter and area here, 29, I know that this is 16, this is 13, I don't know what this is, 6 squared plus b is going to equal 13 squared. So that's 36 plus b squared equals 169. Subtract 36. So that's going to be b squared is equal to 130. So that's not a perfect square. So we got to figure out, a workable decimal for that. So 11.53. So I'll take that as 11.53. Then I got to turn around and use it again because I got to figure out what this length is. This is 29. This is 11.53. I got to figure out what this is. Well, it's 29 squared plus, I already know b squared is 133. That's kind of my b squared. That's going to equal my c squared. So 29 squared plus 133 is going to be equal to 974. Square root that guy. I get this to be 31.21. 31.21. So 31.21 plus 11.53 plus 29, I get 71.74 centimeters for a perimeter. Now area is a little bit easier. Area is just going to be this one times this one divided by 2. So 29 times 11.53 divided by 2 is going to be 167.185 centimeters. If your calculator is a little bit off or a little bit different on the final decimal point, that's fine. Okay, so triangular sandbox, you have enough boards to buy the frame. Each one board is 3 feet long, one bag of sand fills 9 square feet. So you got to figure out the perimeter, you got to figure out the area. So now perimeter, 12, 7.5, and 16. So 12 plus 16 plus 7.5 is going to be 35.5. Now, each board is 3 feet long. So my perimeter is 35.5 feet. Each one is 3 feet long, so I got to divide that by 3. So that gives me an answer of 11.83, but I can't buy 0.83 of a board, so I'm just going to say I need boards. I'll have a little bit of wood left over. Okay, area is going to be 12 times 9 divided by 2. So that's going to be 54 square feet. The bags fill 9 square feet. So divide that by 9. So I'm going to need 6 hand. That's going to give me my answer. All right, figure out the value of x. Ha 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 ha. This should take about 10 seconds. It's a right triangle. It's going to be 5. You guys can do that on your own. It's just a Pythagorean theorem thing. So here, find the value of x. A is 357. So the area is 357. So 34 times x divided by 2 is going to be equal to 357. So it's a little bit of working backwards. Now what I can do here, since it's multiplication, can't do that if it's addition. Since this is multiplication, I can take 34 divided by 2, and that's going to be 17x equals 357. So divide both by 17, x becomes 21 inches. That's my height, 21 inches. So base of parallelogram is twice the height. The area of the parallelogram is 72 square feet. So let's figure out this thing. So the base is twice the height. So if this is the height, the base is going to be twice the height. So the area is 72. So base times height equals 72. So 2h squared equals 72. H squared is going to be equal to 36. So my height's got to be 6, but I'm not done. So this is going to be 6. This has got to be 12. That's all I got. Please come see me with questions. I know I went quick, but look through that and see what you got.